Hi guys, and beloved greetings from the Sacred Valley again. So today I will continue on the topic of the nature of evil. And those of you who didn't see the first part, I recommend watching it. But just as a little disclaimer, I'm not doing this to try and somehow arouse some kind of fear or separation amidst any of you. I'm doing this because I feel it's absolutely essential to be able to recognize evil so that we don't unconsciously perpetuate it, so that we don't unconsciously participate in it. So today's topic is going to be fear-based mind control, because that is one of the tools that the evil likes to use against us. It's a classic method in the dark art of war, to manipulate people through fear. And if we look around currently what's being done, what kind of messages the mainstream media is spewing out there, we can recognize that it's absolutely laced with fear, with sensationalism, and with doom, outright doom. This new psychological weapon of computer-generated prophecies of future is really working quite terrifyingly, because for some reason when we see a graph, we forget that it's coded by an individual who may have an agenda, and we just take it as truth. So there are these computer-generated false projections, false prophecies of future, and we see that, and it threatens our very existence. We go into a state of fear. And what happens when we go into that state of fear is we're no longer able to perceive reality from this holistic perspective of taking into account different aspects of reality, questioning and critically thinking what is happening. But instead, our consciousness contracts and we fall into this fight or flight mode, which is a reaction. It's triggered from that reptilian brain. So it's a very archaic, primitive way of being when we are in a state of fear. So of course, if there is a perpetuated feed of fear from the TV, can you imagine what kind of thinking people fall to? I mean, and it's the end of rational thinking. This is the end of compassion as well, because you'd be surprised how far people are willing to go to protect their lives. So all they need to do is trigger that fear of death, and perfectly good-hearted people will let go of their morality in order to fight for their own existence. What we have to understand is at the core of any fear is fear of death. Fear of death. So if you haven't sat down with yourself and done some soul searching and really thought and sat with what death entails for you, then that fear of death is the perfect entryway for psychological manipulation, fear-based mind control. So I invite each of you to sit down with yourself and look at that. Because by overcoming the fear of death and making peace with death, you will truly find inner peace. And by understanding death, you will understand life. You will come to truly value your existence here and to make the most of it, because if you're no longer governed by fear, you will have the freedom to express your courage, to truly express your divine purpose on this plane. If you continue to live your life running away and escaping from imminent death, which is coming for each and every one of us in different ways, then we are not truly living anymore in the true sense of the word.